Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Southwest Airlines and the disruptions, cancellations that have occurred with their flights, and the claims that have arisen because of this. And we're going to talk about evidence and the lack of evidence and things that are unfalsifiable. And we're going to run through some of the different claims and see what we can demonstrate and we can back up with evidence and what we can't. And then we're going to talk about the absence of evidence and what it means. Okay, so if you don't know, Southwest, they have had, let's just say, a few cancellations. And the theory has arisen that the secret classified intelligence feds, I know you've never heard of that agency, but that's just because you're not in the know, that they have taken their airplanes and are using them to move the debris from Roswell. And that's why there's so many cancellations. I know, that's probably not the theory you thought we were going to go through. You probably thought we were going to talk about the claim being pushed by the right that all of these cancellations are occurring because pilots are calling in sick because they don't want to take the vaccine. The thing is, both of those theories have the same amount of evidence. None. There is no publicly verifiable evidence to back up either claim. To the contrary, the union that is said to have been organizing this sick out, they said it's not happening. They have said that there are no official or unofficial actions taking place like this. The airline has said it's not happening. The FAA has said it's not happening. The evidence is basically that a while back, the union said, hey, we don't want a mandate, which is kind of the union's job. They, generally speaking, default to opposing anything that isn't pre-negotiated. It's kind of that simple. That's the totality of the publicly verifiable evidence. Now, you have people saying, well, I have a source at Southwest, and they said it's happening. I have a source at Southwest that said it isn't. Neither one of those is verifiable. So what happens next? Because right now, you have a whole bunch of people on social media. There are hashtags supporting a strike that may not even be occurring. There's not even a press release saying that this is happening. But the right-wing propaganda machine pushed it because it helps their narrative to undermine the United States, basically. So what happens next? How do you keep this narrative alive when there is evidence coming out to contradict it? You make it unfalsifiable. So my guess is the next thing that's going to occur is that somebody's going to go on Tucker Carlson or some other show of that ilk, and they're going to be a former pilot or a former union rep or a legal analyst, and they're going to say that, the reason that there's no evidence is because if the pilots admitted they were doing this, well, that's against the law. So then the lack of evidence becomes evidence that it's occurring. Just like it's too secret for you to know about them moving the debris from Roswell, well, that just proves it's true. There are a lot of theories, one that involved a letter of the alphabet, that relied on this to spread. It's unfalsifiable. You can't prove it wrong. And it's designed to be set up that way. They make it hard to counter the narrative by making it a secret that you have to be in the know to actually be able to confirm. And everybody likes to be in the know. That's how you get social acceptance, right? So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, what is a likely scenario for what's occurring? Perhaps, let's say hypothetically on August 26th, Reuters released an article saying that Southwest was going to cut more than 100 flights on October 7th, the day before all this stuff happened. And then let's say hypothetically there was a small disruption that impacted other airlines, but they were able to kind of recover quickly because their systems were more resilient. But Southwest, maybe they had, I don't know, pilots and crews out of place. So flights had to be canceled. And then it caused a ripple effect throughout the entire airline. That could have happened. That seems just as likely. What is clear is that the union that many people are saying is behind this have released more than one statement saying they're not, that there is no official or unofficial activity like this. It's not occurring. Now, does that mean that it's not occurring? No. No, the union could be lying, or maybe the union doesn't know. Or perhaps there's a large disruption based on operational reasons, and then you have some pilots who aren't going to get the vaccine, so they're burning through the sick time that they've accrued. That seems likely too. And I wouldn't fault a worker for taking advantage of benefits that they've accrued over time, regardless of the reason. The point here is that there is no evidence. We can't back this up. The sources, they're all unnamed. There is no public statement saying it's occurring. There are no posts on social media organizing the sick out. But because of the way the right-wing propaganda machine works in this country, people are invested in it. So they have to continue that narrative. This is how people get sucked into information silos. This is how people end up following theories that can't be verified. It starts with something small like this, something that seems meaningless. And the next thing you know, they are out to get you. And where's the evidence? Oh, the evidence is with my girlfriend in Canada. You wouldn't know her. Met her at band camp. At the end of this, the thing is we have an absence of evidence. But that in and of itself doesn't mean there is evidence of absence either. We can't say this isn't occurring because the narrative is structured in a way to make it unfalsifiable. When you come across something that is unfalsifiable, you have to treat it with a great deal of skepticism, especially when it is primarily being circulated by a demographic of people who are, not to put too fine a point on it, known for just making stuff up. We don't have evidence that this is even occurring. So this may be the one strike that I'm not really going to get behind, because I don't believe it's happening. Again, it could be. It could be. And it's set up to maintain that belief that it's possible. And because it aligns with some people's political convictions, they want to believe it. But if pundits can get you to believe something without evidence, without hard, verifiable evidence, they can get you to do anything. They can get you to go to the Capitol and get yourself in trouble. They can do anything. They can convince you to do anything once you start believing them without evidence. There's no verifiable evidence to support this. It doesn't exist. Not at time in filming anyway. But again, doesn't mean it's not true. So that hope can still be alive. Just don't believe it based on a rumor on social media. The conspiracy, it starts when you believe it. Conspiracy theories turn bad. They stop becoming thought exercises when you start to believe it and act on it and allow it to impact your emotional state without any evidence. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.